But first, more questions than confirmed answers today after a violent confrontation killed a Bexar County Sheriff's Deputy K-9 in the line of duty. Authorities say Matthew Reyes-Mireles shot and killed K-9 Chucky Friday night.
Mireles led authorities on a multi-county pursuit, then spent more than 20 minutes on 1604 walking around and pointing his gun at officers.
Eyewitness News reporter Jaleesa Irizarry joins us now live from the Bexar County Sheriff's Office, where new details are just being released. Jaleesa?
Yeah, there's no doubt the Sheriff's Office as well as the community are mourning the loss of Chucky, but it has many wondering if he should have been put in that situation in the first place. A tribute to K-9 Chucky stands inside the Bexar County Sheriff's Office after his sudden death over the weekend.
When I heard our dog is 1042, my heart sank.
Sheriff Javier Salazar says Deputy Kevin Rasmussen and Chucky were one of the main teams involved in Friday's pursuit. Chucky was killed by one bullet police say was fired by the suspect, Matthew Reyes-Mireles.
It appears that shot did sever, or at least partially sever, the aorta of Chucky's body, and Chucky went down.
But many wonder why Chucky wasn't wearing his protective gear he was given back in 2016. Chucky and his handler were on scene for at least 20 minutes before his deadly encounter. But Salazar says Rasmussen didn't have time to put a vest on Chucky because they were already in the midst of the pursuit.
Had we had enough deputies there to say, hey, go ahead and you back off and go, and then maybe try to catch up, that just wasn't, we weren't afforded that luxury.
We pressed Sheriff Salazar on whether it was protocol to order a deputy to take down a suspect who shot at other law enforcement minutes prior. He said he thought all protocol was followed.
We're in mourning right now. So as far as second guessing anybody or looking into the hows and whys and the what ifs and what else could we have done, that time will come. For now, I've got an agency that is absolutely heartbroken.
Now, deputies did shoot that suspect after he shot Chucky. He remains in the hospital in critical condition. 4 deputies have been placed on administrative leave as the investigation continues. As for Chucky, his funeral is slated for next Monday. We're live at the Bexar County Sheriff's Office. Jaleesa Irizarry, KENS 5 Eyewitness News.